Hi, everyone. Talking about AI today here with Daphne LaPrance-Ronguet. And as we know, AI is just booming, Daphne. I mean, we're hearing about it and, from every corner, but finding candidates to fill the jobs, to do the work, that can be a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, the AI labor market is absolutely booming, skyrocketing especially compared to other industries at the moment. A new report here in the UK showed that just in the last year, over 110,000 jobs were created that are related to AI and data science. So that's about 8,000 to 10,000 jobs a month. And usually the sort of median salary for that will be about $77,000 a year. And so that's 22% more than other IT related jobs. So obviously a huge potential there, a huge opportunity for candidates who are in this space. There's a lot of demand for candidates, and yet behind those numbers that seem to be reflective of quite a healthy industry, what employers are reporting is that they are struggling to find candidates to fill those jobs. More than 2/3 of employers have struggled to fill at least one vacancy in the last 2 years. They usually cite a problem that has to do with skills. Usually it's down to this: there are candidates, but they don't have the right skills. They lack the technical skills for the most part. That's what most employers report, but they also lack work experience, and they also lack knowledge of the industry in general. So huge opportunities, a lot of potential, but sadly candidates or prospective candidates don't always have the exact skills to suit or to match what employers are looking for.
Well, and what specifically are they looking for, as far as their skill set? I mean, what is it that they need to have in order to be considered for these positions?
So the quick answer is technical skills, and that's the most obvious one, probably. Fundamentally, maths, knowledge of mathematics, and that's why experts in this report sort of call on schools, or rather education officials, to design mathematic courses at school that from an early age will be adapted for individuals who will want to go into artificial intelligence or data science later on. But yeah, technical skills of a wide variety of technologies linked to artificial intelligence. For example, employers reported that many employees would have knowledge of low-level AI or off-the-shelf AI, when really they want candidates to be able to dig deep into this technology, with deep learning models, for example, or a wide variety of coding languages. So they really require these technical skills to expand and to be more all-encompassing. Increasingly, we can see in higher education, especially, it seems like the education sector is adapting to this demand. So, for example, in the UK last year, there were 700 undergraduate degrees dedicated to AI, or sort of tangents of AI, where there were only 122 such degrees in 2019. So higher education is evolving to adapt to this demand. But then, obviously, what candidates need to remember is that there will be a lot of on-the-job training. So even though it might sound like employers are demanding and are demanding a wider set of skills, they are also expecting their candidates and their future employees to be self-learning while on the job, whether that is through online courses, whether it is through reading, whether it is through developing their own projects, or even taking professional certification exams that are offered specifically in artificial intelligence or machine learning by companies like Google or IBM. So that's also a huge part of the job, is training your skills to stay up to date throughout your career, on top of having those skills, I suppose, when you're doing the interview for a job.
Well, and is there another route to it? I mean, do the candidates all have, does it say that they all have to have these certain things, or is there a different kind of a way to arrive to it?
So the technical skills are obviously very important in a field like AI, but the report does mention a few examples of candidates, or employees rather, workers who have background in the arts or in humanities or in fields that are not directly related to AI, and who ended up working in AI jobs, usually because they learned on the job, or sort of evolved naturally their career towards AI jobs. So it's not impossible at all, and we can see increasingly 1-year conversion courses, for example, popping up all over the place to help people who don't have a rooting or a background in AI turn to those jobs. Another interesting industry trend that seems to be emerging is that increasingly employers are also looking for non-technical skills in AI candidates. So that's communication skills, managerial skills, even skills related to things like ethics, which aren't necessarily mathematical in nature. What seems to come out of this report is that AI in business is exactly that. It's about business. It's not only about mathematics. And so it goes hand in hand, and increasingly employers are going to be looking for people who understand the business implications of an AI model, who see the bigger picture of business, who understand how a model can resolve a business problem, and therefore have these sort of teamwork, collaboration skills that are required from someone who's evolving in the business world. So it's really something that's going hand in hand with these technical skills that will be required of future AI workers, but it's equally as important, certainly not something to be dismissed.
Yeah, and there's we have, of course, much more on this, Daphne, and the labor market, and much more, of course, on AI there on ZDNet. So we hope all of you guys will check it out there. Thanks for watching.